before lunch, I know that we indicated that we would start off with Central Grand Bahama, but I also made a ruling. And I'm referring to Central Grand Bahama. Have you, not Central Grand Bahama, you have me mixing up now. To St. Barnabas. It's all right for me. It's all right. You could be on my mind. Have you made a decision as to whether you will obey the rulings of the Committee of Privilege?
Speaker, I am still, it's still under review and seeking advisement, on the matter, Madam Speaker.
You're still under review?
Yes.
So have you had an opportunity to review the report? Have you had an opportunity to review the report?
Not in its entirety, Madam Speaker. And I haven't had a chance to get the advice on it, Madam Speaker.
Okay, but the chair had given an order for you to take a look and review the report and come back after lunch. That's 2 hours.
After lunch, Madam Speaker?
After lunch break.
I don't recall that. I don't recall that instruction, Madam Speaker.
You don't recall that instruction?
That to come after lunch? No, I don't. I'm not suggesting that. I don't recall that is what I'm saying to you, Madam Speaker, because if that was the case, I would come here and address the matter.
Honorable member, you don't recall that I would have said to you to please review the matter and maybe return after lunch. You don't.
Madam Speaker.
And I also gave directives
Yeah, no
to
apologize for it.
the clerk
You being too sensitive.
to give you a copy
You're being too
of the
sensitive. Y'all have a
report,
history of
so that
misleading
if you
Parliament.
did not have in hand or in person or on your person, that you would be submitted with a copy of the report.
Speaker, what I'm saying to you, Madam Speaker, is that I do not recall that that was your instruction.
You
Madam
don't recall
Speaker.
that was my instructions.
I'm not suggesting. All I'm saying to you that I did not recall. If that was the case, then
Well, okay, let me help you with this. I will now, for the public's edification and for edification of members of this Honorable Assembly, I will read the committee's findings, so I'll read it into your hearing. And it is as follows. 1, the dispute arose out of the member for South and Central Andros's contribution to the 2025-2026 budget debate, which commences 1st July 2025. His statements were about the transition from quarterly to monthly billing with the support of the smart readers. The member for South and Central Andros statements were futuristic. The member for South and Central Andros made this point when he addressed the matter in the House on the 19th of June, 2025, the day after the dispute arose. The committee has had the opportunity to review the minister's statement and watch the video of the proceedings. The committee has found harmony in both sources of evidence. 2, the committee has also examined the documents tabled by the member for St. Barnabas and found that they clearly referred to matters of the past and do not contradict the statements of the member for South and Central Andros on the matter, which was a projection of the government's fiscal policies commencing 1st of July 2025. Then there's the conclusion. The committee found the request for an apology from the member for South, for the member for St. Barnabas by the member for South and Central Andros reasonable. The committee found the words used by the member for St. Barnabas to be unfounded or unsupported and in circumstances that were unwarranted. In the circumstance, it is the view of the committee and its recommendation that the member for St. Barnabas take the high road and apologize to this House for accusing the member for South and Central Andros of deliberately misleading the House, as the evidence he used to support his claim failed to do so. On examination, those documents were irrelevant to the discussion.
Who were the signatories, Madam Speaker?
On
Who were the signatories of that report?
the honorable member for Engliston, who is the lead of the Committee of Privilege, submitted this report, and she laid this report on the table of the Honorable Assembly.
The question was, who were the signatories of the report?
The signatories on the report was, or are, let me say, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, MP, Chairperson, the Honorable Keith Bell, MP, and the Honorable Hiram Lewis, MP, member. Absent was the Honorable Leroy Major, MP, and he also gave reasoning as to his absenteeism as he was out of country, and also Mr. Shenandoah Cartwright, MP. Does that answer your question, Honorable Senator? Okay, thank you, Honorable Member. So, and see, members, we need to understand that these committees are put in place. They're active committees, and they are committees to help this Honorable Assembly govern and abide by the rules, especially when it comes to one member accusing another member of lying. The chair recognizes the honorable member for
Madam Speaker, before the member for St. Barnabas can determine when he wishes to speak to this matter, I recall, Madam Speaker, on multiple occasions, on my feet, looking at the member for Fort Charlotte in the presence of the Speaker and this Parliament, accusing him repeatedly of misleading the House over and over and over again as it relates to the hedge. Mm-hmm. Is there any particular reason that matter was not referred to the Committee of Privilege? Madam Speaker.
Let me say this to you.
The member
for Fort Charlotte, who you would have accused, never said to myself or to the clerk or put in writing that he, the honorable member for Fort Charlotte, was willing to have the matter go before the Committee of Privilege. But the member for South and Central Andros did. So that's a difference.
So in other words, he then accepted that what we were saying in that case was accurate.
I'm not saying that he accepted that. So don't say that.
Apparently he did.
I'm not saying that. But he has his rights, and he has every member in here, including you and myself, has a right to put a matter before the Committee of Privilege. And every member in here should do the right thing, as we don't set these committees because we think it's just out there and we should do it. The Committee of Privilege handed down a ruling, and when me, as who sit as the Speaker of this Honorable Assembly, will ask the Honorable Member for St. Barnabas to please comply with the findings of the committee.
Madam Speaker, I've listened. I was present during the course of that particular debate, and I've had an opportunity, Madam Speaker, to look at the Hansard related to that. So I'm at loss as to how the committee arrived at that conclusion. I'm
the
at a
honorable
loss.
member
I'm at a loss on how the committee arrived.
And San Salvador.
Well, no, Madam Speaker. The member is out of order. Yes. The committee has made its findings. The issue is no longer to be litigated.
No longer.
Right, the matter is finished. All right. And the committee has said they have made their findings. Whatever may be, whatever may be your view of what you read, the committee obviously had a different view. And that's not unheard of, that I may have an interpretation of a set of facts, and you may have a different. But they have made their rulings as the committee, and that's the end of the matter. We don't need to litigate that.
Madam Speaker, I'm looking at, I believe it's Order 37 that speaks to privilege. And unless I could be guided in terms of
It says, you say page 37?
Order 37.
Or Rule
Yeah,
37?
or Rule 37, that would be page 32, or page 32 and 33. Sub 10, because that's the only place where I see in reference to an apology or reference to the privilege committee
And what does it, and what is
Making-
your understanding coming out of that?
is that there has to be a ruling of contempt first. And I didn't hear that the committee ordered that whatever was said by the member for St. Barnabas was a contempt. Now, a contempt can be purged through an apology. So I am at a loss in terms of what obligates him and what gave the committee the jurisdiction to give him or to make him apologize. So I'm looking at 10, where it appears to
I'd
the
like
House.
for him to read it, yeah, so he can understand.
After comparing any report or account of its proceedings published by any member with the official record of those proceedings, that the report or account is a contempt of the House, is being false and misleading in a material respect, the House may proceed against the member by resolution for such contempt unless the member submits to the House and also publishes in a form and manner satisfactory to the House an apology, which the House accepts as sufficient to purge the contempt. So I didn't hear through the ruling that the member, I didn't hear through the ruling that the member's position was contemptuous. So if what I would suggest is that if it was not contemptuous, then there's no obligation for him to purge that contempt. And
Honorable member,
unless
let-
there is an obligation to purge the contempt,
let me
then
get-
he can make a.
Let me assist you here.
He can
Honorable
make
member,
a decision. Well,
honorable
he
member.
can make a decision as to whether or not he is
Honorable
going
member.
to. He can make a decision as to whether or not he's going to apologize.
Honorable member.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
There are many times, there is a rule that indicates that, one, we should not use unparliamentary language, okay? He indicated
Yes.
that the member was lying. That's unparliamentary, okay? Then,
said the word lying.
there is a rule. There's a rule.
said the
There is a, yes. Imputations of improper motives and personal reflections on members shall be dealt with by the chair. So that gives me the autonomy to do this, okay, under the rules relating to the order in the House and in committee,
Yes.
okay? I'm helping you along here. Also, it says, a member shall not use offensive,
Yes.
abusive, or insulting words
Yes.
about either House of Parliament or any member thereof.
Yes, yes.
Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not. But I understand English. I passed that.
Yeah.
okay? And this clearly states, see, one rule is, we have to blame the writers maybe, but it contradicts another.
But
Okay?
Can I-
And it
can I-
also
can I-
indicates
can I
the
also-
reasoning behind
Madam
where
Speaker.
the committee would have gotten the privilege from to give these findings.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But again, my position is this.
But he's making a point. Why don't you let him finish and then you can...
And number 10, and number 10, and number 10,
Finish the point.
and number 10, which you read into the hearing,
Yes.
it says, where it appears to the House after comparing a report.
Yes.
There was no report given.
Yes, but that's my point. My point is the committee made an order for him to apologize. Upon which basis can the committee make that order? Unless, what the point that I'm making is, the committee can make an order saying what he said was contemptuous. And then the
The
rule
committee
says,
did not make an order,
once-
honorable member.
once the committee makes a rule that it is contemptuous, then the contempt can be purged through him apologizing. But there was never an order that what he said was contemptuous. There was.
But you're missing the point, honorable member. Honorable member,
let me address your
I've
point.
heard you.
Let me
I've heard
address-
you.
let me
I've
address
heard
your
you.
point.
Honorable member, let me say this to you. The committee said to him that the discussion, the documents when he submitted was irrelevant to the discussion. They have ruled that the member, the honorable member for St. Barnabas, should not have called the honorable member for South and Central Eleuthera a liar
Madam Speaker,
because it was indicated in the report.
Madam Speaker, if
It
that's
was
the case-
indicated in the report.
If that is the case, then all of the members who make a point and someone stands up and says, point of order,
We're
I
not
didn't
talking
say
about
that.
all of the members.
No,
We are
no,
talking
but
about
it's equality,
this
Madam Speaker.
particular
It's
point.
equality.
This
It's equality.
is the particular.
It's equality. It's equality.
This,
It's equality.
you're talking about something
Madam
that
Speaker,
happens in the House.
Right.
On this
And the-
occasion,
and the
a
House
member
then-
requested that it be
but
sent
the House then,
before the
Madam
committee.
Speaker-
We're not talking about what happens every day.
Madam Speaker, the House then says, if you want to
The chair
withdraw it, you
recognizes
can
the honorable
withdraw it.
member
If you not, if you
for Freetown.
Madam Speaker, Madam,
Honorable member, on the 19th of June,
Madam Speaker,
well, that should have happened.
Madam-
Maybe that should have happened. Let me say this to you. Let me say that, honorable member, you're trying to overtalk me. On the 19th of June, I was not in the chair, okay? I might have expunged it from the record, but the deputy speaker was in the chair. So it was the deputy, there was the ruling that gives him the authority from this chair to refer it to the committee of privilege.
Madam
Okay?
Speaker,
So
Madam Speaker.
I have to fall in line.
Madam Speaker, you've recognized me, and quite frankly, Madam
has already
Speaker,
passed.
Madam Speaker,
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Freetown.
the rule that East Grand Bahama refers to does not apply to reports of the Committee of Privilege.
No.
It applies to Madam Speaker, he has read it, and so, Madam Speaker, you have said that you're not a lawyer. I happen to be one.
Yes, you are.
And interpretation of rules is very simple. If you read it, it says where it appears to the House after comparing any report or account of the proceedings, of its proceedings. So when you consider, if you have a newspaper report that reports what happens in here, and they report it erroneously, what the House can do is compare what was reported by the press, look at the record of this House, and if it determines that that report is contemptuous, then it can move to deal with an external person who is reporting about the procedures of this House. It's not unlike what happens in court. I was in a matter with James Jones Sawyer, where the press reported that she sentenced somebody for murder, to a term of years when the sentence was still mandatory. She regarded that as a contempt and summoned the reporter. So this is the equivalent power in this House. If somebody reports the proceedings of this House in a manner that amounts to contemptuous behavior, and that is dealt with by the House in terms of referring the matter then to be dealt with under the powers and privileges. What happens here with the powers, with the Committee on Privilege is not unlike what happens with the Committee of Privilege in the House of Commons, which has been known to cause seats to be declared vacant for by-elections. One should, I've said it a number of occasions, Hansard, which we refer to when you look at our rules, is online and free. The committee has simply said, and has not actually ascribed any malice to the members in Barnabas, which is why I don't understand what the headache is. He said he was referring to something that was in the past. South and Central Andros was referring to the future, so there was a disconnect in it. And I would imagine it was simple. I apologize if I misunderstood what you were referring to, and that's that. I really don't understand what all the angst is about. I don't understand that.
Madam Speaker, let me just say this, that I stand here, Madam Speaker, understanding the gravity of what this House has asked me to do. So likewise, my response takes that into consideration, Madam Speaker. The member for Freetown made a very important point, Madam Speaker. He said that I misunderstood. I was the one that asked the question. I asked the question, Madam Speaker. The honorable member answered a question I did not ask. And, Madam Speaker, determination has to be made. Madam Speaker, I'm responding to you. Madam Speaker.
Just continue talking.
Thank you, right? Madam Speaker, nowhere in the Hansard, Madam Speaker, nowhere in this Hansard does it say I use the word lie. Nowhere in this Hansard does it say I used the word lie or called you a liar. It did say that I said that you misled this out. I asked a specific question if there were any fees, that were increased. I didn't qualify when that was. The honorable member took it upon himself to misinterpret or interpret what I was trying to say, Madam Speaker. I asked him a specific question. Right? Asked him a specific, and I know what I said that day. I asked him a specific question, and he answered a question I did not answer, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, I did not use the word lie. I did not use the word lie in this honorable House.
Madam Speaker,
The chair recognizes the honorable member for
take
Freetown.
it he said that's indicate he isn't going to apologize after saying all of that.
Honorable members for St. Barnabas, no, just allow me to say something. The honorable member for Engliston is a notable attorney. The honorable member for Carmichael is a notable attorney. The honorable member Iram Lewis is an honorable man. You understand? Members, and when the Committee of Privilege was able to examine and do an investigation into what transpired into the proceedings. Now, you said it was not picked up on the Hansard, but there were members sitting in this honorable assembly who heard every word that came out of your mouth, that heard the words. So, hold on, I'm still talking, I'm still speaking, just give me an opportunity, okay? So you are saying that the committee is telling an untruth against you? That's what you're indicating?
Madam Speaker, what I'm saying to you, Madam Speaker, is as you look at the hand side, it does not say anywhere
I'm not
that I
asking
call
about
the
the
member.
Hansard.
But
I'm
that's
asking the committee.
Madam
about
Speaker,
the committee
this is what
and
we're
their
referring
findings.
to. We're referring to the hand side, just as the committee would have used the hand side. I'm likewise doing it. And so, Madam Speaker, for the record, with God as my guide and my commitment to my principles, I cannot, in good conscience, apologize, Madam Speaker.
So I'm going to ask you one last time. You are disobeying the rule from the chair as the findings of the Committee of Privilege was requested, who, in their view, was handed down their ruling, just asking you to apologize. You're not willing to apologize.
Madam Speaker, the members of the committee are not the only honorable members in here. And as a fellow honorable member of this place, who's the subject of this committee, with my duty to my own conscience and the principles that I bring to this, I cannot, in good conscience, give an apology.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, ma'am.
It is the ruling of this chair that the honorable member for St. Barnabas will be suspended upon the next sitting of this House after the summer break. That is the ruling of this chair. And I am handing that down because the honorable member is not willing to comply with the findings of the report of the Committee of Privilege on the matter concerning the Honorable Leon Lundy and himself. Thank you, Honorable Member. And I will not allow any member to call any committee that is made up of the honorable members that sit in this place to be called kangaroos. This is not a kangaroo court. There are many members that sit on various committees, including members on the side opposite. And if you say it's a kangaroo court, all I can say from this chair is, I hope the cap fits. Now, with that being done, we will now continue with the order of business as we conduct the people's business. And before we move along, we have to remember now, order, rules, regulations apply to each and every one of us wherever we go in life. And I can also say that when members feel like things don't go their way, they call it unequal. And when it don't go their way, they said that you're biased. Okay? So say many things. But I can say from this chair, sometimes the conduct in this place is always make me to wonder. And I watch the proceedings of the House. I've watched it. Okay? And I will not sit here and let any member call good members who I know are good members. The honorable member for Engliston have served in this place for more than 25 years. And I will not believe for one reason that any member could come to me and then say to me that she will rise to her feet and give something that is unfounded or untrue as a presentation, not just to us, but to country. Thank you, honorable members. We will now proceed with the order of business as we proceed with the people's business.